Managing your company's finances remotely is now more important than ever. With Scotia Online for Business, you can safely and quickly conduct your transactions and save on costs. Accept payments, transfer funds, including third-party and wire transfers, view balances and download statements, pay bills and credit cards, make supplier payments, manage payroll, and purchase foreign exchange. Let us handle the way your business does business. Speak with a Scotia representative today. Call 888-429-5087 or email bnsj.businessbanking@scotiabank.com.
We're open to change. Say goodbye to lump sum monthly service fees and get ready for real-time billing from Scotiabank.
Greetings! Scotiabank is introducing real-time billing August 1, 2020. Today, we're going to talk to you about it and also give you tips on how you can reduce your fees. Let's go! Have you heard about real-time billing?
No.
Have you heard of real-time billing?
Yes.
Are you looking forward to it?
Right now.
Effective August 1, 2020, Scotiabank is going to charge you in real time, which means that each time you complete the transaction, you are going to be aware of the charge that is taken from the account.
Give it real. Once you swipe, get your thing, you see your charges.
Awesome. So effective August 1, 2020, you're going to have that.
Beautiful.
So I want to encourage you to move some of your transactions online and also look out for real-time billing effective August 1, 2020 so that you can keep track of your money. How many times do you use the ATM monthly?
You know that I don't keep a track.
You don't keep a track.
No.
So we'll eat that, you know, right?
Rarely, but at least twice.
At least twice. You don't know how many times you use the ATM. So I'm going to take all of your ATM money, or most of it.
Right.
These are the fees that you pay.
At ATM.
So ATM, not a lot, maybe about 2 times. How about how many times you swipe your card?
All the time.
All the time. So let's take all of your purple money, right?
For the month, 10 times.
This is about 10 times in fees,
In fees.
right? And when you go in branch, right?
I go in branch.
How
when I
many
have
times
to.
do you go in branch?
Not a lot now because
Not a
of
lot.
COVID.
Not since COVID. Couple times. Couple times. So I'm going to take some of that. You say you go to the branch sometimes, so I'm going to take rarely. I'm going to take 2 of your red money. So, Coley, these are all your fees, right? Did you know that some of these transactions can be done online and you pay nothing at all?
No.
$0. You can save additional money by swiping your card less. So maybe you group some of the spending. If you lessen the amount of time you use the POS, then you can keep all of that money in your account in transaction fees. And if you visit the branch less, then you save some money as well.
Oh, so I saved 19,385.
What leave money?
15.
What leave money?
So I can come rich.
So you get you're richer. So real-time billing puts you in control. That's it. You heard it all. Real-time billing puts you back in control of all your fees, all your spending. You get to track it. You know what's going on. August 1, 2020, we're ready to go.
Things are a little different these days. But when it comes to banking, you can keep doing what you normally do, right from home. Bank your way, 24/7 with Scotiabank. Download the new Scotia app with a faster low-time bank wherever, whenever. Be in control and transfer funds or pay bills quicker with just a few taps and a swipe. Plus, we're serious about security. Want real-time notifications for all your transactions? Check. Log in with fingerprint? Check. Turn your credit card on and off? Triple check. Protected. Your money is safe and secure. Bank wherever, whenever you choose with the new Scotia app.
Hello and welcome to our second edition of ScotiaLive. My name is Yannick Forbes-Patrick and I'm the Vice President of Corporate Affairs and Communications for Scotiabank. ScotiaLive is our webinar series where we get to talk about important and topical banking matters, as well as we get the opportunity to hear direct feedback from you, our customers. It also gives you the chance to ask questions and get them answered in real time. Today's session is going to be a little bit different. We're going to talk about 2 very important banking matters that we get a lot of questions about. The first is digital banking and the second is fraud prevention. And we are going to open up for questions after some brief presentations where we're going to give you some advice to be able to handle these matters and improve your everyday banking experience. You can ask your questions via, if you're on the Zoom link, you can ask them via Zoom, or you can ask them via Instagram Live. All right, so let's get started. So joining me today is my colleague and the Senior Manager for Self-Service Banking, Mr. Houghton Leslie. Welcome, Houghton.
Thank you.
And also, we have Mr. Peter Mohan, who is the Branch Manager for the Constant Spring Financial Center. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so let's get started. We have two important matters today to talk about. We're going to talk about digital banking first. That one is a really topical matter, particularly as we are all coping with the COVID era, as I call it. And I think probably we should start with telling our customers, what type of self-service channels we offer. I mean, self-service to us is anything outside of the branch, but we have lots of options for customers to do their banking nowadays.
Thank you very much, Yannick, and good afternoon, viewers. So today, I want to speak about self-service channels at Scotiabank. And I want to say that today we offer ATMs, mobile banking,
right.
Scotia Online, which is our online banking, point of sale, telephone banking, etc. The whole works. Now, we are about making transactions being done convenient to our customers and securely. So I'm going to speak about the ATMs first in terms of some core functions or functionality that our machines, or this channel actually can offer. So, withdrawal,
everybody uses that, our number one used channel.
That's the one. Balance inquiry, everybody knows that. So we actually allow for customers to purchase USD. I know a number of persons probably would not know that. Right? We do. So customers can actually go to any of our dual currency machines. We have about 60 across the island, and actually purchase USD from their local currency account. No need to
have a US bank account,
a US bank account,
which is great.
No need to go into the branch to do that transaction. Online banking. Online banking, it's
favorite.
Growing. It's convenient.
Definitely.
You can stay at home. You can stay on the beach. You can wherever you are. You can actually access online banking. You're able to transfer funds, pay your bills, purchase top-up your phone, and all of those things. You can also purchase USD online as well by transferring from a local currency or from a foreign currency to a local currency, and vice versa, actually.
And the transactions are free.
Transactions are free.
Yeah.
Or a mobile app. Again, we have done significant investment in our app because we know that the mobile app is the most convenient of all the channels because it's right there on your phone. We walk around with our phone on a daily basis. So we know we can actually, do our transaction right at our fingertips. It's great. All the functionalities that I just mentioned about on Scotia and online banking can be done on the app. And the beauty about it is that the transactions are across our self-service banking channels are secured. We offers a feature called alerts. Now, alerts is really a security feature that gives customer the convenience and the security of doing transactions. We don't have to worry about fraud. I'm not saying that we don't have isolated situation, but
you can monitor your account activity.
Right. Alerts today comes in four different forms. It comes in the form of balance notification, payment notification, transaction notification, and security notification. So I'm going to quickly just say exactly what they're about. The balance notification is really if you need to get updated information about a notification about the balance in your account. You can simply
Sometimes you don't know where the money went, Houghton, so it's good to know every day how much money you can set it for every day to know how much you have in your account.
Very important. Yes. Same thing for payments. When you pay, you may want to make a payment, and you can actually arrange to get notification, reminder that your credit card is due. We are all busy people.
Oh, right. Okay.
So, sometimes we may not, it may slip us, for whatever reason. So that's payment notification. transaction notification, that's what
The
most
important
persons-
one. Yeah.
Whenever you do a transaction at any one of our channels, you go to the ATM, do a withdrawal. Once that is turned on, you'll get a notification that, yes, you have just done this. I will advise everyone to
Sign up.
ensure that that is turned on. If not balance or payment,
At least the
at least
transaction
transaction,
notifications.
because
Okay.
that is what keeps you informed in terms of what's happening with your account.
In real time.
In real time. In real
Yeah.
time. Security notification. Now the beauty, I mean, at Scotiabank, we take security very, very important. So
Very.
when we were putting together this feature, we say, hey, we need to make this mandatory.
Yes.
So once you're signed up for alerts,
Yes.
you actually, you know, it will return on for you immediately. I want to just give you a quick video on what the alerts are
Enable
about.
notifications. Stay on top of your transactions with real-time alerts from the Scotia app. Log into your Scotia Online account. Select the More option located at the bottom right of your screen. Select Scotiabank Alerts. Then select Transaction Notifications. Click on selected category to enable email and app notifications for relevant feature. Save changes? Notifications have been enabled for in-app alerts and email. Download the Scotia app from the iOS or Google Play Store.
That's how simple it is.
Yeah. It is
to go.
very straightforward.
Very, very, one,
Yeah.
two, three. Another key security features that we have here is our credit card control. Just imagine,
Yeah.
if you need to travel, you can travel with that security. You can, and if you're not traveling, you can.
Well, we're not traveling much
don't
these
need
days.
to- in fact, with COVID these days, we're not going to travel.
Right.
So international, you can actually turn on and off international transaction. You can turn on and off online transaction. So if you know you're not going to travel, no international transaction should be taking place on the card.
So you can switch
You
it
can turn
off.
it off.
Right.
And you know that you're safe as far as concerned on that side. Same thing for online. If you know that you're not using online to purchase from Amazon or wherever, you can turn it off. But of course, we know that that's not true because especially
I feel like Houston is talking about me. I'm not sure why.
Make
He's
sure
talking
that, you know,
about
they are
me,
trying-
Peter. Anyway.
Right. So another key feature is that you can actually set a limit a daily limit on your transactions on your card. Can
That's
you
a
believe
great way to control your spend.
So if you believe that you're a little, you tend to spend more than what you really want to, you can limit.
It's you. He's talking about this
You
time.
can limit
It's not
the
it's
amount.
you.
You can set it to whatever you think you want to spend. So it's that we have budgeting action.
No, that's very true.
Yeah. So so those are some cool features that we have with credit card controls.
And it's simple. I think we actually have a quick video that just shows how easy it is to use credit card controls.
Exactly. I want to
Controls. Never worry about a lost card again with Scotia Credit Controls. Turn your card on and off right from the app. Log into your Scotia Online account. Select the More option located at the bottom right of your screen. Select Credit Card Controls. Choose the card you want to manage. Toggle the switch to turn your card on or off. You can also set transaction limits or select what transactions are allowed. Save changes. Download the Scotia app from the iOS or Google Play Store.
as easy as that.
As simple as that, right?
Easy.
All right, so Houghton, thank you for that. I'm sure many of our customers got some useful tips. One of the things that I really like about our online banking is really the ability to transfer to anyone at any local bank. That one really has changed my life to make it more convenient. So instead of standing up at the ATM line every weekend, anyone that I pay regularly, I now transfer to them online. So it could be my housekeeper, my mechanic, my hairdresser, anybody that I'm going to pay regularly. I've set them up as a payee, and within seconds, I can transfer to them. I can pay my bills in the middle of the night. I have 2 small children, so running around to branch is really not a good option for me. So I really think online banking, once it's available, and once you have internet access, is a great option for our customers. And now we've zero-rated data.
Exactly, I was about to say that. I mean, it cannot be easier. All you need to do is to be signed up as have an account with a local mobile provider.
Any local telecommunications
That's
provider?
all that is required.
And you have...
then you're able to browse, you can go online, no data charges incurred.
Right.
So
there's no data charges.
No data charges.
And no fees to use Scotia Online.
To use. It's all free. If, for example, you are traveling and you have a prepaid phone and you're out of credit, you can simply go onto the app and purchase credit. There's no cost.
Yeah. Yes, that's great. That's a good one. So I know that we have some questions. We had customers sending in questions even yesterday. Thank you so much. And just to repeat, if you have questions now, you can ask them via Zoom or via our Instagram live post. And our Instagram handle for anyone who needs it is Scotiabank Jam. All right, so we had some questions come in. First one is from Sarah H. Thank you, Sarah, for your question. Oh, Sarah says, oh, this is a different one. Sorry, this is about fraud prevention, which I think is an important one we're going to touch on a little bit later. But I think probably best after we speak to Peter and we give some advice on this one. But here's an important one from Ashley S. She says, what is the more secure thing to use? Would it be a password or fingerprint when I'm using online banking or mobile banking?
And Yannick, you know, I'm saying both ways are secure, both methods are secure. But my preference is actually fingerprint because my fingerprint is unique to me. So it's the probability of defrauding my fingerprint is a little, you know, it's a little weird.
So fingerprint. We think fingerprint
is really the way to go.
Okay.
Or Face ID, because our app allows Face ID.
All right. So we have a customer who says that they notice that sometimes Ida M says she's trying to sign up for Scotiabank app, but sometimes she can't access it. And what can she do about that if she's trying to access the app and she's not getting through?
There can be several things that could be going on there. It could be your phone, it could be several things. So the best thing to do is just to make a call to our contact center and they will walk you through the process in terms of getting it signed up.
Could be maybe a data glitch or something. Okay. So Houston, so we talked about online banking and here we have Anthony. Oh, thank you, Anthony. Good question. How do you sign up for online banking?
It is simple as 1, 2, 3. All you need is your card number, which you would have as a customer.
Your debit card number.
Your debit card number. And actually your credit card as well.
Okay.
So you can actually sign up. If you only have a credit card, you can sign up with your credit card only. Except that you will only be able to view your
credit card statement. Okay.
But just your card number with a credit or debit, your full name, which you would know, and the ID that you use for the account, which you would know. Most persons use a driver's license.
Okay, great.
And that's it. And once you do that, it's a series of steps that it takes you through. Very short steps, actually. Yeah. And bingo.
And if you ever need help, our contact center is 24 hours a day. Yes. You just call 1-888-4-SCOTIA. Okay, so Orville A, thank you, Orville. Orville says she's trying to transfer funds to VMBS, but he keeps getting an error message.
Okay, so VMBS or just as other similar building society, you know, it's not a part of the automated clearinghouse system, which is what is used currently on our online and mobile app for transfers. So that's a very popular method of transfer, interbank transfers. So for VMBS, you'd have to either visit the branch to make that transfer. Well, let me say this now. We are actually looking at putting RTGS on our online banking, so customers will be able to do that because VMBS is actually part of the RTGS.
So on our mobile and online platforms, you can transfer to anyone at any local bank, because VMBS is a building society. That's why you're getting the error message. Okay. All right, Alvin N wants to know, can I have a joint account with a family member who lives abroad? And if so, how can we sign up for online banking together? How does that work?
Okay, so once you have a Scotia card, you can actually sign up. And if you have a joint account, each person can sign up individually.
Using their card?
Using their card.
Okay.
And all the accounts will be available. Now, accounts will be available that are shared. And you can decide which account you want to actually share with them, because you can actually have an account that you share, but the other person doesn't view it. So it is possible.
So the primary account holder can set that up.
Can set that parameter, yes.
All right. Okay, so thank you so much. I mean, I know we're going to have more questions and we didn't get to answer every single thing, but there's another important topic that we want to talk about now, and that is fraud prevention. Unfortunately, fraud is a reality pretty much anywhere that financial services are offered. And the best thing that we can do is to make sure that we're arming our customers with information and tips and advice to ensure that we minimize any potential of fraud taking place on your account. And we really are passionate about customer education, so thank you for listening to these tips. Now for this short presentation, we're going to ask Peter, our branch manager from Constant Spring Financial Center, to just talk about the types of fraud that we're seeing taking place.
In recent times, what we have noticed that fraud in the financial, if you want to say, online platform has grown. The fraudsters are getting creative and they're doing things, that you have never seen or heard of.
Yeah.
As a bank, we are responsible to protect you, our customers, and we have to put measures in place, and we continue to do that. So even a forum like this is one of the methods that we have used to inform you as to what is out there, that you can be aware.
Right.
Because the only way we're going to fight this, we're going to need your help. Some of the frauds that we are seeing recent time is phishing is one. And phishing is where suspicious emails and text messages are sent. Then you have debit card and credit card fraud, and that's at the ATM at the point of sale. And you have check fraud. And then in recent time, we are seeing identity fraud.
Yeah.
So those are the major ones that we are seeing happening, popping up across the globe.
Phishing, everyone may not be familiar with exactly what phishing is. So maybe you should tell us what exactly that entails.
So phishing is where you see an unsolicited email pops into your box asking you for some information, like your name, your date of birth, stuff that when you think about these are pertinent information. And if that should happen, I would suggest, you send an email and we have our inbox that you can send that to. And that's phishing@scotiabank.com. PHISHING @scotiabank.com. We won't use that method to ask you for certain information. So when you send that, you'll get a notice to say we have accepted it, and our team will investigate the matter.
Right. Or give us a call if something doesn't look right. If you see something, Scotiabank is not going to send you an email, unsolicited email asking you for your password and your debit card number.
No.
Right? So
the debit card and credit card fraud, what you find is your back of your card has a strip. And when you think about it, that strip is what really speaks to the different channels. So when you go to the ATM, that strip speaks to the ATM, and when you go to the point of sale, that strip does the same. Once the fraudster gets hold of that strip, that's where a duplicate card is done. You're in Kingston, and transactions are being done in Montego Bay on your card. So you want to ensure that your card is in your possession at all time. You don't want it to be left out, and as such, keep it to your chest, if you want to call it that. Identity fraud is where, for instance, your driver's license or your mail is captured by someone else. You find that that person takes a loan at another institution. And with the credit bureau in place now, you find that you go pull a report and you see that you have a loan somewhere else, and you know nothing about it. So you want to protect your information. Don't let it go, certain persons will throw out a mail, shred it or burn it or something of the sort. Don't leave it in any hands. So you want to protect that information. And check fraud is maybe the oldest in the book, where a check is issued to someone, and that particular check, let's use the check number 1234, but 1234 pop up in Montego Bay, pay it to someone else. So the fraudster will get that check,
maybe
duplicated, and a check. So our advice to you is to try and stay away from issuing of checks. Use as you heard before, use the alternative channels to make the payment. So you can transfer the monies to the account, and it can be done using our same online platform. You go on your phone, you transfer it to other banks, and the person have access right away.
And it's faster for the person receiving it.
Faster.
It's cheaper for them versus cashing a check.
Yeah.
So we really, if you do have access to the internet and to online banking, transferring directly versus writing a check is really a better alternative for you and for the recipient of the check.
Yeah, okay. So we take fraud seriously. And for every customer that walks into our door, when you think about it, I know the stress. You can see the faces in the days. Sometimes it's the only funds they have in their account to buy medication, food, you name it. So we look at your case and we assess and we see what's the scenario. We take all the information that you're able to give to us and we start an investigation because we want to make sure that you're keeping safe and in terms of your funds are safe. So once that happens to you, you want us to report it. You heard the number, 8888-8884 Scotia, and you make that call, shut down the card, and the process is started in terms of reimbursing you for the scenario.
Right.
We share the responsibility. So once you're keeping your card safe, that is helping us in the fight. So we want your help. So we advise everyone out there, keep your card safe, don't leave it to anyone. And once you're doing that effectively, it will help us fight this fraud.
Right. So Peter, we have seen cases where people, and we've gotten questions before where people are saying that they perhaps gave their PIN to a family member or something, and then they're seeing fraud taking place on their account. We really do encourage customers never to give their PIN to anyone.
No.
Right?
And that's a no-no because it's a breach of the cardholder agreement.
Yeah.
I know sometimes, you know, you want to give the son or the daughter the card. Give them an account.
Might
transfer the funds to their account and let them use their card. Because it helps us with the process. Because when we're starting the investigation, you ask the question, who else have the, and you say someone else, you're in breach. And it makes it harder for you to be reimbursed. So we want to ensure that that card is your card and you don't give it to anyone else. And remember, when you think about anything that happens in that space, once we investigate and you find that it's a fraud, you will be reimbursed. So that's a guarantee with the cardholder.
Right. And in terms of passwords and PINs, we see customers writing PINs down in their card sleeve, and then perhaps it gets misplaced and someone now has your card and your PIN. So maybe you should give some advice in terms of PINs and passwords and some best practices there.
All right, so when you really think about it, you know, fraudsters are thinking, you know, they think
they're creative.
They're creative, and they're thinking, okay, the simplest way. So you find that persons will use a password like 1234. No, someone will easily identify that.
4321?
No. I suggest you use something that you are the only one knows about. Something happened to you a couple of years back, and you can put some numbers to that. Go ahead and do that. No one else will know.
Right.
And you don't need to, because you're using this so often, it sticks. And then in most recent times now, you really don't need it. For instance, if it's online, you use your fingerprint and you're able to move on.
We see year of birth and date of birth a lot. We don't encourage that one either.
Because persons know your date of birth. Your friends know when you were born.
A lot of people might know your date of birth. It's not something that's so inaccessible. So, and we do see what you call social engineering, or people who know you or will try to get your personal information to just for the purpose of committing fraud.
Yes.
And then, right.
Another one that I want to speak about is the point-of-sale machines. You want to make sure that the machine that you're using is an authentic one. So we advise you, we are doing this session, you want to use a Scotia machine, but if not, if you're using another bank's machine, make sure it's well branded, that you know it's an authentic machine. If you did a transaction and it says, for instance, they say it's declined, get the receipt to show that it was actually a decline.
Or at least look at the screen.
Or look at the screen.
Right.
So you want to make sure you're putting steps in place to cover that. And never let your card out to your side. So you find that you're at a place, you're eating, and the attendant wants to walk away with the card. No. Bring the machine to me, or I'll go with you to make that.
Yes, our head of retail has a very good analogy for that. As she says, you must think of your debit card or your credit card as your paycheck, in the same way, or cash. So the same way, if you cashed your paycheck and you had all the money inside your handbag or inside your wallet, you would be clutching onto it for dear life. You wouldn't really just give it to somebody to walk away with and hope nothing happens. You really do have to protect your credit card or your debit card just like that, because it is your money. And so we want to make sure that anyone, if they have it, you're with them the entire time. If they're going over there, you're going to. And as we said, don't feel embarrassed to cover the keypad at the point of sale before you put in your PIN.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
All right, there's other, we also, that covering PIN thing goes for the ATM as well.
Yes.
Just in case, as a security
Our
measure.
new ATMs comes with a console, but you still want to make sure that you're covering when you're putting it in.
Just
because someone could be watching. Because
Right.
once they get their PIN, then that's how they get access to your account.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's probably why it's very important to go back to what Houghton said. If you can sign up for alerts, that's also a great way for fraud prevention, because in real time you'll get an alert that something's happening on your card.
Yeah.
And then what do you do whether Houghton or Peter, if you all of a sudden sitting down and see an alert pop up on your card, you just withdrew money at an ATM in Ocho Rios.
The first one you see, you call the number and shut down the card.
And if it's a credit card, you go and turn off the card.
Yeah.
Right. So if it's a credit card, you can go online, turn it off yourself, and then still call.
Yes.
Still
And then
call.
if it's a debit card, call us immediately.
Same immediately.
Right.
And as you heard, the contact center is open 24/7.
Yep.
So someone will be able to shut down the card. You go to the nearest branch the next day and get this all resolved. Yes.
Okay, well, that's great. So I think we have covered some important matters here, and we invite you again, just to remind you, if you have questions, you can send your questions via Zoom, or you can send your questions via Instagram. Our Instagram handle is Scotiabank Jam. You want to probably remind about our security guarantee.
Yes. So what you also need to know, Scotiabank Online guarantees you that they will pay you, reimburse you the funds once they realize that it's a confirmed fraud took place on your account.
Right.
So rest assured, because most times when I speak to persons, they're saying, what assurance you have that I'll get back the funds? Once we do our investigation and it's a fraud, definitely you'll be reimbursed.
Right. But the time difference, there might be a time difference between, a situation that is very clear and straightforward versus what's a little bit more complex.
We need to do investigation, yes.
And we do have to investigate every single case.
Because if we decide that we're going to maybe have a run, everybody come down to the branch that they were defrauded.
All right, so we have to be safe, and we want our customers to have all the information that they can to be safe as well. So, Houghton, do you have any last tips that we want to give before we open up for some further questions?
Well, Yannick, what I would say, I would just encourage customers to utilize our self-service banking channels. In fact, in this time of COVID, it's actually the preferred way to do your banking transaction.
Definitely.
So it's there, it works, it's secure. Let's just go ahead and use it. As Peter just mentioned, we give guarantees for transactions. There's a procedure, so there's no need to fear. As far as seniors are concerned, we're going to be working with you. We're going to be taking several steps to ensure that things are communicated to you in an easy way so that you understand how it works.
All right, I think that's very important. And even recently in the St. Catherine lockdown, we could say that we were confident that at least our customers had several options. So if you are watching us today and you haven't signed up for online banking, we really encourage you to make that option available to you. So in any event, just for your convenience, you have the option to use online banking. And I'm pretty sure once you start using it, you're going to keep using it. I don't think people realize that, to be honest, we now have more transactions taking place with our digital channels, which is online and mobile banking, than we have branch transactions. Exactly. People might find that one hard to believe, but once people start using our online channels and they experience the convenience of it and how easy it is to use, not to mention it's also free, then they kind of keep using that channel moving forward. All right, so we're going to take some more questions at this time. Again, you can send your questions via Zoom or via Instagram Live. So Clive A is asking, what measures is Scotiabank putting in place to mitigate criminals from tampering with ATMs? Houghton, that sounds like you.
Yeah, so actually we have invested a lot in this regard. In fact, our new ATMs now, we have never, in fact, that brand, that model, and it's deployed across the world, has never been tampered with. Our ATMs in Jamaica, and this is all our ATMs, we have not had any fraud that originated at our ATM since 2017. We have invested a lot in terms of security devices and stuff, and software technologies to ensure that transactions are secure. Now, customers may say, but I actually went and make a withdrawal and I realized that the withdrawal was done at a particular ATM. It's not at our ATMs. It's most times it's probably at a point of sale or another ATMs. But we have not had any confirmed fraud at our ATM since 2017.
Oh, I think we do also have instances where customers, unfortunately, if you're a victim of fraud, you assume the last place that you conducted a transaction is where the fraud took place. Right. And that's not necessarily the case. It could have been a week ago that someone was gathering information and has just decided to act on it. So some people sometimes assume, well, it must be because I went to the ATM, or maybe that's why.
Fraudsters don't want to be caught, So
yeah, they're not that.
They're going to give you some time.
They give it time.
Yes, because they want you to mix it up.
Okay.
Right.
All right, so we have a question from Joel Grant. Joel Grant says, I love online banking. Don't have to go join the line to pay my bills. You and me, Joel. Thanks for that comment.
Okay.
And it's encouraging anybody else who hasn't signed up yet. Shalene Reed says the same thing. The app is amazing. We think so too, Shalene. Thank you for that. Adrian Johnson is asking, will the app be improved to facilitate bank statements?
That will come eventually. The app, what we have done is to create the foundation to launch. So what we have now is really a basic, all the basic functionalities that are there. We're actually building on that. So stay tuned. A lot of other features will be coming. If you notice, there's an option there for products and services, and it says coming soon. So it's gonna be. It's coming. It's getting there. It's getting there.
Okay, but in the meantime, you do have 12 months worth of all of your account activity that you can refer to.
For online, 12 months, both for credit card and both for credit accounts and deposit accounts.
Right, you can see 12 months transactions history. Okay.
That can be had from.
Okay, Diva Renee on Instagram asks, can I get a replacement card sent to me? So she says she's under quarantine. So if she's in a situation like that, she's lost her card, maybe she went someplace and it was taken by the ATM, or for whatever reason she doesn't have a card and she's under quarantine, could she make arrangements to have our card sent to her?
That would have to be looked at a case-by-case basis. I mean, we do have cases where we send a card overseas, so we'd have to look at that particular one, yes, do the necessary verification.
Okay, so Diva Renee, I'm going to beg you to call your branch and let's see if we can make some arrangements for you. We really are trying to help our customers as much as possible. It's a difficult time and we're here to assist. Okay, thank you, Natalie Hamilton, for your question. Natalie's asking, why is it that you can't add a transferee, I guess, a payee to your third-party transfers, details from your app? You have to go to the online banking to do that.
So, as I mentioned earlier, we are actually improving the app. It's a base. And so all of those things will be able to be done on the app eventually. We can actually, what I can say though, we can actually add recipients on the app. Yes. Right? So that is something that we actually add that enhancement about a month and a half ago.
So we can do it, right?
So it can be done from the app in terms of the details. So yes, it can be done from the app. Yes.
She says transfer details, but I think she really means if she wants to use her app to add a payee to her third-party transfer.
It's there.
So yes, it wasn't there when we just launched, but you can do it now.
What you can do, you just go down to the bottom and you see add with a plus, you just add from there.
Yeah. So what happened though is that this is because, she probably is somebody that had probably has a long list of recipients and it's at the bottom. So just go, as Peter said, scroll down to the bottom.
So Natalie, if you have a long list of recipients on your phone, scroll to the very end and you will see the option to be able to add someone else to your transfer list. All right, thanks for the questions. Janice is asking, the Visa debit card can be used abroad, so I don't have to let Scotia know when I'm out of the island. So our customers love our Visa debit card because you can use it when you're shopping abroad, you can use it online, but she's saying because she can use it abroad, she doesn't think she has to notify us when she's traveling. What would you say about that, Peter?
Yes.
That's true. That's flexibility.
Yeah. But in terms of fraud prevention, in terms of money,
there is we monitor our transactions, and it's always a good practice to let us know.
Because if you don't.
Yes, so that's just for fraud purposes.
So that's the thing, Janice. You can use your Visa debit card abroad, but because we are actively monitoring for fraud and we don't want fraud taking place on your account, it may be that if we see international transactions taking place when we weren't aware that you were traveling, that your card, we may think it's a fraud and temporarily block your card. So it is best to advise the bank when you're going to be out of the country, and we really do it to prevent any fraud from taking place on your account. All right, Novlet says, I can't believe it was that simple signing up for online banking. So proud of myself, I did mine today. Round of applause for Novlet, please, our newest online banking customer. Novlet, thank you, and please share your experience with others. It really, if you're a little bit intimidated and you're saying, boy, I use online for social media and for fun things, but I really am not comfortable doing my banking, I will tell you that it is a very straightforward process, and if you try it, we're almost certain that you're going to continue to use it. So well done, Novlet, and we're glad you're enjoying it. All right, Al-Marie asks, I would like to pay my mortgage to Jamaica National Building Society online. Based on what you're saying, would that be possible because they're not a bank? JN is actually a bank, though.
JN is a bank, and JN is actually in the drop down, so you can actually transfer that mortgage amount to an account at JN.
To a deposit account. Okay.
And they will pull from it.
So you could transfer to another bank account at JN, and that bank account could pay your mortgage. So yes, you can make those arrangements. All right, so Clive A, this is a different one. Sorry, John B is saying, another bank's ATM ate my Scotia debit card. How do I get a replacement?
You need to just visit any of our branches with your identification and get a replacement.
All right, so you're not getting back that card?
No.
Right, so that card is gone.
Destroyed.
So then what happens then when I get a new card and I'm already set up for online banking with my old card?
Rolls back into that new one.
Automatically.
Seamless.
Seamless, quite seamless.
All right, so Donna M says, I have used my card to withdraw cash and the alert came in hours later. If this was a fraud attempt, I'd be afraid I wouldn't be notified in time. What can be done to prevent that? So she didn't get her alert in real time.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate, Donna. Most alerts actually comes real time, but sometimes there are issues could be the local telco, could be international servers because it comes via email. So so we understand it will happen from time to time. It's not a good thing, and what we are doing, we're actually on our side, we are doing everything to ensure that these alerts are delivered in the shortest possible time.
Yes, that shouldn't be the regular experience.
Not at all. It should be an exception.
All right. So Arlene G says, I have a problem with logging into Scotia Online. And she's just asking what does she do. So if she's trying to log in and she's encountering difficulty or something happens, she's not understanding, she's not getting through, what's our advice for Arlene?
The best thing to do and the most convenient thing to do is to call our contact center. They are available 24/7 and they'll walk you through to diagnose. There are several things that could cause that. So that's the best advice that I would give to do. And that should actually deal with that issue.
Right.
She could restart the instrument as well.
Could restart the instrument, but
there are several things that could cause
right.
that. Yeah.
And we do have our contact center staffed up with teams dedicated to online and mobile banking. Okay, so Evadni is saying, how is Scotiabank educating its seniors or customers who are not very familiar or comfortable with technology? So if either of you can take that one.
Yes, Evadni, that's a great question.
Good question.
Our seniors are very important. And that is why we at Scotiabank, we are working with some senior groups to, a different initiative to work with different groups from the senior category, to educate them, to tell them about it, to walk them through. We also have call-out programs to the seniors to walk them through in terms of getting them comfortable with our self-service channels.
Right.
And just to let them understand that, hey, it's not difficult. I can tell you, I know a number of seniors that have done it, and it's the best thing.
I've converted my mother too. But Evadni, I would say to you that reach out to your branch. We have started proactively contacting customers, contacting our seniors who we realize are not signed up for online banking and walking them through the process. So if you're interested in that, we'd be happy to give you a call and walk you through. And particularly now, we don't want our seniors with any extra exposure to this virus. So if you're interested in banking remotely and banking online, we'd be happy to show you how to do that. Okay, so Marlene is asking, why do the verification codes expire so fast? Can you slow down just a little, Houghton? The verification codes coming and expiring quickly.
Well, Yannick, actually, the verification code actually expires in 5 minutes. And 5 minutes is a long time.
That's not too fast.
But what tends to happen, sometimes it comes in late. And it can come in late for different reasons. Again, it's technology. It comes through an email system. It goes to the telco.
Your app may be
and
delayed.
all of those things. So it probably comes in late, and by the time you get it, it's just a few seconds left and it expires. What we are doing on our side, again, is to ensure that our back-end systems are rigorous and they have adequate capacity to actually support those delivery in the shortest possible time.
Okay.
I would say it coming late. For now, I mean, it's really an exception. We actually, in fact, let me just say this, declare this. A couple of days ago, we had some issues with some high traffic, and there was some delays. But we have corrected that now, so we shouldn't have any more of those issues. Those should be just exceptions.
Okay. So, Henroy is asking, I heard that one can cash or deposit a check using an ATM. I don't know how to do so. Could you provide me with an outline of doing this?
Great.
This is an important one.
It is.
Because a lot of our branch traffic is for depositing.
That's correct.
And many of our customers withdraw from the ATM, but they don't know how to, or they're not
deposit.
comfortable
That's
depositing at ATM. So
Just timid.
maybe either of you, maybe Peter, you could take this one. What do you do?
So
if
you visit the machine, you put in your card, put in your PIN, and then the option comes up on the screen. It says deposit. You hit that option, and you just put in the cash. You also do the same for a check. If you put in a check in one of the smart machines, the check actually comes up on the screen. And you see the check, so you're able to put in the figure just in case the machine is not able to read the check. And it's instant. So when you think about the cash, if you do a cash at the smart machine, it's real-time access. Right in there, you're able to do a transfer or pay a bill right from there.
So that is great. So it's
Here you have a,
showing a video of how simple it is.
Works, yes?
Yeah, just like that.
Yes.
you
So really, the
confirm.
machine is going to walk you through the steps.
It's going to walk you
in
through
terms of
it.
what to do.
Yeah,
Very easy, simple.
And you select the account, and it's
Yep.
and you also one of the features that I like best is where it tells you, it gives you the option of taking the receipt with the check or without the check. I find that to be cool because
Right.
when you take the receipt, then you know, okay, I lodged this check on this
Right.
date.
So
Right.
the check is actually imaged on
An
the
image of the,
receipt.
so a little mini
yeah,
picture
yeah.
of your check.
Yes.
So, and that's at one of our smart
Machine.
deposit machines. And those machines are at every branch now, Houghton?
Every branch has at least
In every parish?
one.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
For those older machines that you actually have to use an envelope, you also can actually get cash. There's a feature we have called instant access, which is just to have a discussion with your branch, and it can be turned on for you. And you'll be able to get your cash just the same.
Right. So we have smart IDMs that will, image your check immediately on the screen, but for our other full service machines, you can still deposit a check. And then, as Houghton mentioned, you sign up for our instant access feature. So once you deposit that check, you will be able to access some of the funds immediately. Okay, so Sasha is asking, how can I be certain that emails I receive from Scotia to click links are actually from Scotia? That's a very good question, Sasha.
Yes,
and one of the things that probably I'll add to this is many of our customers really don't know, really aren't exactly sure about what exactly our website address is. Where are those links taking you to? Our website is jm.scotiabank.com. If it's taking you somewhere else or to another domain, it's probably not us. If you see an uppercase B in Scotiabank, that is not us.
They can just hover over the
So you can,
link.
yes, as
URL.
Peter says, you point your mouse or you point your finger and you can hover over where is it, and it will show you where the link is taking you, the address. So that's very important. And also you can pick up the phone and call us. Our contact center is available 24 hours a day. So I got this email, I'm not even sure if I should click this link. Did you send out an email about
Or send it to
this
the phishing
promotion?
site.
Always
Phishing
best,
inbox.
yeah, to verify. Once you have doubts about, just verify, make a call into the contact center.
Very, very good question. Okay, so Andreen is asking, is there a service charge when I use my debit card at a store or a supermarket? And then she had a follow-up question to say if she swipes her card at another bank's ATM,
Yes.
will there be a charge?
Yes.
Yeah.
Other banks, it should do encourage
Yeah.
that.
So the first question was, if she swipes her card at a point of sale, a debit card machine at a supermarket or a store, is there a charge?
So if it's
Yeah. So if it's another bank's machine, there may be a charge because it goes to the multi-link network. I think there are some other, one or two business society that is known to merchant that there's no fee. But once it goes through, once another bank, there's a charge because it goes through the multi-link network.
So there is a charge
Yes.
when you swipe your card, and particularly you're asking about using other banks' ATMs and other banks'
Same
point of
thing
sale
applies.
machines. Yes,
Yes.
there is a charge. And all our charges, you can see them, they're available on our website. All right, so
Maxine.
Maxine is asking, why does it take so long when a transfer is made to an account that is not a Scotiabank account? It's really not supposed to take long, Maxine.
Yeah. So the delay for that is it's normally the same day. So banks, interbank transfers utilize automated clearinghouse, and there are several transmissions that are done during the course of the day. You have about 3 transmissions. So if you do a transfer, if you do a transfer, Maxine, this morning, say at 8 o'clock, by say midday, the transfer will be effective across the other bank because it would catch one of the windows when the processing takes place. So there's a delay. So we are not yet at the point in the country where we have real-time transmission.
So if you did a transfer in the morning, though, you should expect is that the person is going to receive the funds same day. If it's if it's on a weekday.
If it's on
a business day, I should say.
Very important, Yannick. So weekends there's no transmission. So if it's do it on a Saturday, it'll
hit the person's account on a Monday.
Monday, yes.
Okay, but if it was a Scotiabank customer,
right, real time,
can
immediate.
ask them to open a Scotiabank account, Max.
That's an incentive.
That might make it easier. All right, so Akina is asking, please explain the bank routing number and where to get it for online banking transfers.
So the routing number is a
What is the routing number?
So the routing number it's a code, if you want to call it that links bank to bank.
Okay.
So it's not on our platform yet. You can see if it's going to ever get there. But you can call the contact center and they'll be able to provide you. So use a routing number or a SWIFT code, any of those two.
Okay.
Yeah. And as I said, it's something that links the bank to bank. So you're sending it from, say, the States, you're sending it to Jamaica account, then depends on the intermediary bank, they will ask you for that information.
Okay. Charla is asking, I have been banking, or I think she's making a comment. I've been banking online for a number of years and I totally love it. I encourage my brother to join and he loves it too because of the convenience. Thank you, Charla.
And brother.
And your brother as well. So we're glad to hear it. We're always happy to hear the feedback and also any suggestions that you might have. So, and along that line, Richard is suggesting that he wants to be able to organize his recipients in alphabetical order. So in online banking, your payees are in alphabetical order, but in the mobile app, they're not.
They're not.
Richard wants to.
Richard, Yannick has asked me this question almost every day, every week.
She knows Richard.
I may have asked before. I may have asked the question before.
This is something that we're actually looking at in terms of enhancement to the mobile app. So stay tuned. We will get there soon.
All right. So we have another question from Rick Fraser. And he would like to know more about the app being zero rated. That's an important one. And it's a first from Scotiabank as well. I know a year ago we were able to...
So you want the secret?
No, I think he wants to know more about how it works.
Okay.
So, I mean, a year ago we were able to get one telecommunications provider to ensure that there's no charges to use the Scotiabank app, and now both providers are on board. So no matter what network you're on locally, once you're accessing your Scotiabank app, it is free to use. So Houston, you want to explain for customer how exactly does that work?
Yeah, so I mean, what's his name?
Rick on Instagram.
Yeah, Rick. So we have an arrangement. We have partnered with our mobile network operators, and we work out something with them so that any customers, anybody who go online, go on the app, there's no charge. So we would have taken care of those costs. So essentially, that's what's happening. All you need is just to have one of their instruments, and you're able to go on. Right. So what we have said, Rick, we have said to you, we understand the importance of you doing your bank conveniently.
Yes.
We will underwrite the cost for that.
Yes.
And that's what we have done.
Right. So it really would be helpful in an emergency. If you're somewhere and you don't have money, you can even use use the free data to access your banking app and put credit on your phone, send it to anybody. And remember, of course, the banking app is 24 hours a day. So it's a great tool and great value for our customers. All right, so Maisie is asking, I don't get an alert when my supermarket credit card holders...
Supplemented.
I don't get an alert when my supplement credit card holders use the card. Sorry about that, Maisie.
I'm not sure that's... Because the card holder anyone uses, you get an alert.
Yeah.
So
Maisie,
she may check her settings.
You need to look a little deeper on that. I mean, you can call us and then we'll see exactly what's happening there. Because it should apply because the supplementary card is a part of the primary card.
Yes.
So whatever happened there, should be able to get.
Well, it's for everybody else's benefit. So Maisie has a credit card and there's an additional credit card on her account. Yes. And what she's saying is the second user is swiping the card and she hasn't seen the alert. Right. So she needs to check her settings.
I'll give the call center a call and they can look into it.
We can look into it to see what's happening.
All right. Andy Sammy from Instagram is asking, Houghton, why are ABMs down and tend to be down at month end?
All right, so Andy, let me say, We are actually, so we are sometimes at the mountain where when the volumes really increase, that the machines will jam and all of those things, and sometimes it take a little while to come back up. What we have done to address that or to minimize it, because we will have issues from time to time, the higher usage, the more potential for any issue to happen. So what we have done is we have invested a lot in terms of replacing our fleet of ATMs. And we have done that, we are doing that now. I mean, we have replaced over 100 machines over the last year. So we realize that especially in this time, during this time, we need to be able to have our machines up and serving all our customers. So we note your comment or your question, and we are actually working on the problem to have it addressed for the most part. We will have jams from time to time. So I will not say that machines will not go down, but we'll also ensure that during the month end, that our partners, especially our third-party partners, that they are ready and available to respond quickly. So we have actually started those discussions with them. We have had those discussions with them, and so that's the arrangement.
So Andy should see some improvement?
She will see some improvement as we go along, yes.
All right, so one for you, Peter. Audrey is asking, why does it take days for funds to clear from a check?
So remember, for a check, we're talking about clearinghouse. So you have 5
maybe
days.
she doesn't. Maybe we want to explain the process.
Yeah. So for a check, when you lodge a check, it has to go through the clearinghouse system, and it could take 3 days, dependent on the item. Foreign checks takes a longer time. So until that time is exhausted, that's before you will be able to access the funds in the account. So you'll have to wait till the check is cleared before you get the funds.
Okay. So it doesn't matter if it's whose check it is?
So if it's another bank check, it can go up to 5 days. If it's a Scotia, a shorter time can happen.
So then what would your solution be then for Audrey if she's
My solution,
trying to...
whoever's giving her that check, tell them to transfer the funds to her account. The check is a no-no. Check is a delayed strategy in my view.
So if whoever is paying her by check, transfer the funds immediately to her account?
Immediate.
Right.
Okay, the fact that the person can write her a check, they can go on the platform, and at Scotia now, most of our account holders now have the access to transfer the funds to the account. So they want to choose
so that's really the solution in terms of the check clearing process.
Is the solution,
it does take a little while, but we do have alternatives, is really the answer. All right, Ms. Abbs, thank you for your question. Ms. Abbs wants to know, what's the best way to report an out-of-service ATM? So if you go to the ATM and you see, one in your community that's not working, what do you do?
The best way is to make contact with the call center, our contact center, or report it to a branch, any branch nearby, and it will be dealt with.
So just call and tell us that this ATM is down.
That the ATM is down.
But we are also monitoring them, so we should be able to.
And that's exactly. So we have full monitoring of all our machines. So when it goes down, even though it may not appear to you as a customer, we are aware that it's down. And there's always something happening in the background in terms of...
To go and address.
To go and address it.
Okay. All right. So thank you for your questions, everyone. Keep them coming. And for anyone just joining us, you can ask your questions via Zoom or, of course, via our Instagram channel, and we're Scotiabank Jam. All right, so Renee M is asking, sometimes I don't get the verification code for the app on time or get them at all. What steps are being taken to address this?
So Renee, I spoke about this earlier. I don't know if you're actually tuned in. So yes, this happens occasionally. And as I said, it could be because it utilizes mailbox and all of those things, servers and all those things. So what we are doing on our side is to ensure that our backend servers are fully robust, so that these machines, these codes are sent out in the shortest possible time. We have, up to this week, we have done some enhancements to that aspect of it. So we are doing everything. But what happened though is that you can also have your local mobile provider can also contribute to the delay.
Could be a
because
delay.
Their system may probably respond slow and all of those things. But for the most part,
that shouldn't happen.
That shouldn't happen.
Right.
And you should get it quick or fast. You should have a fast delivery.
If it keeps happening, Renee, please give us a call, because that really should not be the case.
Please let us know, because we need that feedback in order to ensure that we can
Resolve
address
it.
it.
Okay, Peter, I'm giving you this question from Joanna M. Thanks, Joanna. Joanna is saying, is it safe to give someone your account number, and how can I sign up for online banking without going to the branch?
It is safe to give someone your account number. When you think about it, it's just a number and a branch, so they're able to transfer. As it relates to sign up, you can call our contact center, which is 8884-SCOTIA, in order to help you to sign up for online
So you
banking.
don't have to come in to sign up for online
No, you don't
banking.
have to.
We're really trying to make it as convenient as possible.
Indeed.
Well, in fact, right add to that, I mean, if Lloyd is a customer, like
Joanna.
Which one is
Joanna.
Joanna.
Joanna, yeah. If you can simply go on the website and sign up, the option is there.
There's a little register now
There's a
button
little
right on our
register now,
website, so you
and
can try
it
yourself.
allows you to just sign up, and it's
Right.
very easy.
It's straightforward, and if
Very,
you
very
encounter any issues, of course, then you can
You
call our contact center.
Right.
So thanks for that. And yes, giving your account number, we find a lot more of that. People are going to be asking you for your account number for the reasons that the gentlemen have said. So instead of giving you a check if they have to give you money, they may just ask you for your account number so they can transfer the funds, because more and more people are signing on and seeing the convenience of these channels.
And one thing I want to make note here, in that you're doing a transfer, you want to make sure that the length of the numbers needs to be 14 digits long. So the transit number needs to be there. You use place values in terms of zeros.
What's a transit number?
So the transit is a locator number.
branch.
So your
Okay.
branch number.
So your
like,
branch
for
number.
instance, Scotia Center is 50765, and so your account number is 1234. You want to put place values in front of that to make it 9 digits. And the 9 and the 5 makes it 14, and they're able to do the transfers online.
Okay, so hopefully that answered the question. We have a question from Lloyd. So Lloyd says, I notice every once in a while when I sign into my account online, I get a message saying that I'm attempting to access my account from an unregistered device, and I have to confirm the authenticity of the process by inputting a verification code sent to my email, even though the device is registered. Can you say what would be the cause of this?
All right, so Lloyd, that message should only comes up if the device is unregistered. So we actually have that as a security feature, just to ensure that you are the one. Whoever is signing on is actually the authentic person that is supposed to be signing on. So once that message comes up, please check the box. There's a box to say register device.
Sure.
If it happens again, what happens though if for some reason you go and sign on to, I think there's a maximum, again, for security reasons. Some persons will sign on, will register 3, 4 devices. That is prone to fraud. So if you go over 3 devices, you'll find that all devices will now be unregistered. To remove that feature. So it forces you.
Oh, so you have
it's
to-
always best to restrict your number of devices.
So you'll have to re-register everyone, or it'll ask you to
The next time
authenticate
you go in-
every time?
Yes.
Okay.
Next time you go in, So I think what's happening there is that probably Lloyd has been registering. And
He has multiple
more than
devices,
multiple
so it's-
devices.
okay.
And that's so it's unchecked. So that's a security feature.
Okay, so that's the problem, Lloyd. So probably if you deregister one of the devices and keep it to what, 3 you said?
3,
Then
yeah.
that shouldn't happen anymore.
Right.
Okay. So Ida M, unfortunately, Ida is saying, after an incident of fraud, I opened another account to manage my everyday spending. But why is it necessary to treat me as a new customer opening an account for the first time, providing documentation all over? So, Pete, I think this is not probably a very well understood process in terms of why we require some of this information to open an account.
So if Ida went to the parent branch, chances are some of the data on file would be current. If not, then that's when we will need
So
to ask
if
for
her
current, yes.
ID is outdated or
Then we will
something,
need
then
to
we
ask
pretty
for-
much have
yes,
to get
yes,
her
yes, yes.
documentation
So
all
we just
over
have to
again.
have an updated file.
Right. So it's not that you're a new customer either. It's really, we have to maintain current information on all customers.
Yes.
So if your ID expired, if you change jobs, then we will have to ask you for some of that information again to make sure that everything is up to date on our files. Okay. Fiona says, I'm very impressed by the new ATM at Brownstown. It's my family's country, Brownstown, St. Anne. And I love that I need no envelope to do my deposits. So there you go, Houghton.
Hands up.
Fiona is very
Thanks for the
impressed. Thanks,
endorsement,
Fiona.
Fiona.
We're happy that you're happy. All right, so Babu from IG says the app is great. Best local app experience I've had. Ooh. Was this developed internally by Scotiabank?
Internally by
Yes,
Scotiabank.
it was.
Yes, it was.
Born
Yes,
and bred.
yes, it was. Babu, thank you for the endorsements. Thank you. All right, so Jane is asking, how do I reactivate my account online? I'm assuming this is a dormant account or an inactive account? Is that what you think? How do I reactivate my account?
Online account, I mean, I don't know if she's referring to a dormant account.
Maybe it's an inactive account. Well, let us assume it's an inactive account. And how would she do that online?
Right now, if you go online, if your account is inactive and you go online, just by doing a $1 transfer, or something, it's automatically
provided the person have an active account.
Right, so that's great. So if your account is inactive and you're using online banking, any transfer $1 and the account will become active. But if she's not online, what's the process?
She would have to visit a branch and provide us with the necessary data in terms of updating. Because actually what we do is update the file to make it active.
Okay. All right. We have a question from Donald. Why can't cash be lodged to one's account by someone whose name is not on the account? So why can't somebody come to the bank, to a Scotiabank ATM, I'm assuming, and lodge money? ATM.
So we're not there yet. I know why we're getting that question because it happens elsewhere. And I'm thinking with further upgrade to a machine, chances are we'll get there. But in the meantime, what would have to happen there, we'll have to maybe lodge it and transfer. So I'm giving them an option. Right, rather than coming to just lodge it to your account and transfer.
So what they could do if they have online banking is transfer it to you?
To the account, yes.
Okay, so that's an alternative. Okay, so Shauna is suggesting to Mr. Leslie that another ATM should be installed in Maypen as our residents really want to get on board with self-service banking as you've been suggesting. Houghton, Shauna wants another ATM.
I fully agree.
Shauna, tell him specifically where you want the ATM.
Fully agree with you. In fact, we're looking at a couple locations in Maypen right now as we speak. So it will be there soon.
Aye.
All right, so gentlemen, you won't believe it, but we pretty much have run out of time. We have time for 2 more questions. So Richard has asked, what are you doing to make the Scotia ATMs extra safe? So you may want to repeat what you had said before about.
So Richard, as I said earlier, our ATMs, we haven't had any fraud committed at our ATMs since 2017. So in relation to safety, I think we have done a good job. The new machines that we have actually installed, based on the information from our vendor, no fraud has been committed based on the technology that is used with those machines. So we have all the machines that we have not had any fraud since 2017. We now have newer ones which we are now replacing the older ones with that has never had any fraud committed. So we are relatively safe from that perspective. However, we still keep in touch with what's happening in the environment, worldwide and locally, so as to ensure that we keep along that path.
Okay, and our final one is actually not a question, it's a comment from T. Campbell. And it's probably the best way to end the session this afternoon. So T. Campbell says, online banking is all caps excellent and very convenient. Thank you so much for that. And thank you so much for taking the time to join us this evening. We really appreciated your questions. We love the opportunity to connect with you and to give you feedback in real time. Please, if we didn't get to your question, send us a direct message on our Instagram account, and we'll see you next time for our 3rd session of Scotia Live. Have a great rest of evening.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Greetings. Scotiabank is introducing real-time billing August 1, 2020. Today, we're going to talk to you about it and also give you tips on how you can reduce your fees. Let's go. Have you heard about real-time billing?
No.
Have you heard of real-time billing?
Yes.
Are you looking forward to it?
Right now.
Effective August 1, 2020, Scotiabank is going to charge you in real time, which means that each time you complete the transaction, you are going to be aware of the charge that is taken from the account.
Give it real. Once you swipe, get your thing, you see your charges.
Awesome. So effective August 1, 2020, you're going to have that.
Beautiful.
So I want to encourage you to move some of your transactions online and also look out for real-time billing effective August 1, 2020 so that you can keep track of your money. How many times do you use the ATM monthly?
You know that I don't keep a track.
You don't keep a track.
No.
So, whole heap that you know, right?
Rarely, but at least twice.
At least twice. You don't know how many times you use the ATM. So I'm going to take all of your ATM money, or most of it.
Alright.
These are the fees that you pay.
At ATM.
So ATM, not a lot, maybe about 2 times. How about how many times you swipe your card?
All the time.
All the time. So let's take all of your purple money,
Mercy.
right?
For the month, 10 times.
This is about 10 times in fees,
In fees.
right? And when you go in branch, right?
I go in branch.
How
when I
many
have
times
to.
do you go in branch?
Not a lot now because
a
of
lot.
COVID.
Not since COVID. Couple times. Couple times. So I'm going to take some of that. You say you go to the branch sometimes, so I'm going to take
Rarely.
rarely. I'm going to take 2 of your red money. So, Coley, these are all your fees, right? Did you know that some of these transactions can be done online and you pay nothing at all?
No.
$0. You can save additional money by swiping your card less. So maybe you know, group some of the spending. If you lessen the amount of time you use the POS, then you can keep all of that money in your account in transaction fees. And if you visit the branch less, then you save some money as well.
Oh, so I saved 19, 385,
What if money?
15.
What if money?
So I can come rich.
So you get you're richer. So real-time billing puts you in control. That's it. You heard it all. Real-time billing puts you back in control of all your fees, all your spending. You get to track it. You know what's going on. August 1, 2020, we're ready to go.